Folks, welcome back. Welcome back, folks. At large, scene has been created here. Scene has been created here. These supers are now throwing folks, welcome back. Supers are now throwing they are telling these officers to go back, that they don't want them around. What? Wow. Wow. No. Folks, scene has been created here. The police are dispatching tear gas. The police are firing tear gas. The protests have not turned chaotic. The protests have not turned chaotic, folks, here. A clash between these supers and officers of the Liberian National Police following SUP protests where they were visiting the streets. Now it has turned chaotic. That's led the police to disperse in tear gas. It has not turned chaotic, folks. The police continue to disperse tear gas. Earlier on, you witnessed the SUP station of protest here from the main campus of the University of Liberia, passing through the central streets of Monrovia, returning to the main campus that led to a roadblocks being set. And now, stones were being thrown at officers of the Liberian National Police. And now the entire road is clear, being flooded with rocks on the floor. The police continues to move in. Officers continue to move in. Rocks keep coming out of the fence.
So you can see this officer is trying to free the road.
So the SUP protests are resorted to a clash. The SUP protest, March for Job and Justice protest has resorted to a clash. Of course, I'm Ross, Nimpandia, DNS Liberia. The SUP protests are resorted to a clash between these SUPists and the officers of the Liberian National Police. The police now moving in. The police are now moving in. Police. What? Jesus. Folks, they roll from what? Who got injured by the rack? The police continue to disperse their gas. These supers are not relenting. These supers are not relenting. These supers are not relenting. They continue to throw rock at these police officers. And the police in return continue to disperse their gas. We got injured from this. Folks, there you go. This is the roadblocks that was set by these supers and obstructing traffic. So there's a clash there between the officers of the Liberian National Police and now these supers. Officers are also throwing rocks and also dispersing tear gas. The entire road between the Capitol building and the University of Liberia. The road has been flooded. With rocks on the street. So, folks, you see, more rocks keep coming. More rocks keep coming. These our supers are not relenting yet. They continue to stone officers. They continue to stone officers. You see rocks coming from high angle. This is a clash. The once peaceful protest has now turned chaotic here. Up Capitol Hill. Up Capitol, you see that? You hearing that protester saying more rocks? Folks, it's actually tense. I can tell you it's actually tense. Car is not going, car is not coming. These officers are now retreating. More rocks keep coming. I can advise you, anybody that's coming from town, news the Jata end.
There's so many of police.
Because you see officers are now retreating. These protesters are coming out. Bottles are being thrown at these officers. Bottles are being thrown at these officers. They have managed to push the officers out of the fence. They are pushing these officers. Officers are now retreating. Officers are now retreating. We cannot go there. We can't go there, folks. We can't go there. The police retreating into the Capitol building fence. These supers are not relenting. They continue to stone these officers. Another folks, we have been affected by the tear gas have been fired. This is how the road leading from the Capitol building, the barbers end there around Techno House, all the way to the main campus of the University of Liberia. Very clear. There has been a clash between these supers. Earlier on, you witnesses that they were protesting the march from the main campus of the University of Liberia and went through central Monrovia, returned to the main campus, set roadblock, and the police tried to move in, tried to take off these roadblocks that were set, which led to these supers saying, no, you cannot take these roadblocks that were set. And then they tried to push away these officers with stones being thrown, and in return, officers dispersed tear gas, and which has led to a chaotic scene, a very chaotic scene. Folks, this is DNS Liberia, and of course, I'm the virus Yimpan, where there has been a serious clash between SUP and officers of the Liberian National Police with their exchange of rocks and tear gas. And that led the Liberian National led to officers of the Liberian National Police dispersing tear gas at these protesters who were seen on live camera. Of course, you did see that on live camera. These supers were stoning officers. They were stoning officers after a roadblock was set. An officer tried to move in to take off the roadblock that had been set in the center of the road, just right between the Capitol building and the State University. And they tried to stop these officers. They brought out chairs, rocks, and while officers trying to move in the picker stones, they tried to to throw these officers, telling them not to come around them. And in defense too of the heavy rocks being thrown at these officers, the officers on scene dispersed tear gas. We don't know as to whether arrest. We don't know as to whether arrest have been made, but this is all going through. Face burning. My face is burning. My face is burning. This is all go through. So that it's very tense, folks.
So we are stay here behind the legislature, the national legislature.
We're just right around the Capitol building, where the police have managed to place a pickup here indicating that this is a no-go zone following the chaotic scene here. A very, very chaotic scene, and which there has been clash. I don't know as to whether arrest has been made, but we've now seen officers have now placed down the shields and the batons. We don't know as to whether calm has been restored, but we're a bit far from where the battleground, where the oh God, we're very far from the battleground. Yes, due to the how tense this clash was, where these supers were not relenting. I do believe those supers have retreated. We're yet to see them. We're not seeing rocks on the street. We're not seeing rocks on the street. So there's no car moving, there's no car coming. And this entire road is now clear. A police pickup has been packed right there. And indicating that this is not a no-go zone. Why officers are trying to, but we cannot go further due to how tense this place is. But we're now hearing officers saying one is part, one is not part. So arrest. So one arrest has been made. One arrest has been made. One person has been arrested. This is the main battleground. So, like we told you, no arrest has been made here. No arrest has been made here.
We are here. So I think.
So this is the battleground.
He's a journalist, but he's very affected.
So this journalist has been affected by the tear gas following a serious clash between the officers. So this is how the entire street is like here, being flooded with rocks. This is how you see it. The entire street here being flooded with rocks. So supers have managed to retreat. They have retreated. We don't know as to whether they have gone there to regroup. But this is a journalist who works for Inquirer newspaper, been affected by the tear gas that have been dispersed by the Liberian National Police following a clash. So you see, so they are not coming. They have managed to regroup. These supers are not coming. They have regrouped again. They have regrouped. They have regrouped, folks. These supers have regrouped. Instructions been given to him. Instructions have been given to him. These supers are not relenting. Once peaceful, now chaotic. These supers are not relenting. They continue to stone officers of the Liberian National Police. They continue to stone officers of the Liberian National Police. And in retaliation, the officers are not releasing tear gas. So officers managed to move in. Then officers are not moving in. Let me wear my jacket.
Yeah, anything happen to you here, that's free.
Yeah.
And you see the armed police officer going there with gun?
Yeah. This is my phone, my jacket.
Wear your jacket, my man. The armed police officer moving there. That way. You see there? 3 of them went in there with armed. Yeah. The one saw that 3.
So, so officers have now moved in. They have now moved in to the main campus of the University of Liberia, and they have managed to chase these SUPers who have retreated. And a few minutes ago, they regrouped. And there was another clash. So we've seen the commander of the police support unit. 1-2 minutes here. So this is how things and the entire protest has begun. Earlier on, you saw SUP chanting slogans, anti-governmental slogans, made a parade around, and made a U-turn up Basin Street, come back to the main campus, or they return to the main campus, set roadblocks. So we see we cannot go further. We cannot go further. That's the battleground there. When officers are not moving and chasing away these protesters who have been throwing officers. SUP March for Job and Justice protest has turned chaotic with the end of a clash. So officers are now into the compound of the University of Liberia, the main campus, session all over for SUPists. We have managed to enter the main campus of the University of Liberia, where these SUPists were, and this is where they were, and then police officers were there across that gate, beyond that gate, and then they were stoning officers, and officers were there at the same time dispersing tear gas, and the officers tactically, I could say, managed to move in, maintain the pressure as they were trained for it, and they managed to move in and chase away these protesters. So this is how the main campus of the University of Liberia is like. You see rocks all on the campus. The campus is packed with rocks on the ground. So now you cannot see any SUPers here. You cannot see any SUPers here. Only officers. Unit officers. No officers are now here on the main campus of the University of Liberia, of which trained police officers have managed to chase away these protesters. They have managed to chase away these protesters. Of course, folks, you follow our broadcast this morning where students from the student unification party were seen under this Palaba hut chanting battle crowds, the usual battle crowds, and then on it took onto the streets of Monrovia, paraded chanting anti-governmental slogans, returned here at the main campus of the University of Liberia, and they decided to set roadblocks, of which officers tell them, no, this cannot happen. We can allow you to protest, that's your right, but you cannot set roadblocks, you cannot obstruct traffic. And which officer tried to move in there to take away the roadblocks that have been set. And then in retaliation, SUPers decided to stone officers, of which led to these police officers dispersing tear gas. So, like we told you, the entire so yeah, instructions been given from 197 that officers should retreat. That officers are this whole thing that me with my face due to the situation on ground. These SUPers have managed to retreat. They have managed to retreat, but the SUP we know.
We are getting information that they are trying to regroup.
Market for Scarlet FM, we both are here. Market, of course, thanks for joining me on this broadcast. We're live from the main campus of the University of Liberia. Well, officers are now retreating. Marcus, what do you make of what happened recently, a few minutes ago, that there's a serious clash between SUPers and the officers of the Liberia National Police?
Thank you, Urias. What seems to be a peaceful protest has now turned chaotic, Urias. I didn't actually see this coming. I just cannot. I just did not envision that this protest would have turned to be a chaotic one, because it started peacefully.
Okay.
With students marching.
They are chanting their usual political slogans.
And I saw the distance the police are also giving the protesters.
Yes.
I was like wondering, why is it that the police are giving them too much distance, not want to interfere in their activity? But shockingly, we saw the students entering the fence and try to do a roadblock, something that prompted the police to come around. And in fact, when the beginning of the protest, or the chaotic scene started directly from the protesters.
Yeah, when they decided to set roadblocks.
Yeah,
and
first started to throw stones at the police.
No, Market, they decided to set a roadblock. And of which they brought out several chairs and rocks, try to pack them on the road. The officers tried to calm them down. No, you cannot do this, you cannot obstruct traffic. And while officers trying to engage them to disengage from what they are doing, they decided to stone the officers. And on several occasions, and officers in defense fired to disperse tear gas.
But the thing here is that I don't know, we have less manpower of police officers here.
Yeah.
But they managed to
tactically
get rid of the entire situation on the main street there. Now we are now in the defense of the University of Liberia, and we are seeing assistance. We are not seeing.
We are seeing. So, Market, you see, as part of the clash, this vehicle, a windshield has been damaged. The windshield of this vehicle, as part of the clash, been damaged. So, as part of the clash, and so you see, officers are now. We cannot just often confirm to you that as to whether it's a super did this or officers, but as a result of the clash that went on between officers of the Liberia National Police and that.
They came from outside, open that plate. That's it. We are moving officer on the main road. They came from the protector side.
So folks were now leaving the fence of the main campus of the University of Liberia, where officers are now retreated. They have managed to chase away those stupids who were seen on live camera stoning officers. Once before, now chaotic, folks. Serious clash. Very serious clash has been ongoing. between the officers of the Liberian National Police. Yeah. So some of the rocks that SUPs were using to stone officers, these are some of the rocks. So Chief. Thank you. And as part of this slash, we got injured, folks. So these are some of the rocks. See bottles. Glass bottles. So you see glass bottles on this ground. These are some of the items that they were using to stone officers. So you see, so we try to show you items that will be used to stone officers of the Liberian National Police. These are rocks on the ground that were being used by those SUPs to stone officers. Yes, you can see them. So, folks, earlier on, serious clash between SUPs and officers of the Liberian National Police, and that led to this place being a no-go zone. That led to this place being a no-go zone. You can now see glass bottles, rock sticks. They are now all lying on this ground as part of the clash that went on. The peaceful protest resorted to being chaotic. The peaceful protest led to be chaotic. But like we told you that we saw a damaged private vehicle in the compound of the University of Liberia, the main campus of the University of Liberia, and which we cannot confirm to you as to whether it was done. That was done by members of the Liberian National Police, members of the Student Unification Party, but as part of the clash, that resulted to private vehicle being damaged in there in the defense of the University of Liberia, the main campus. And so you now see rocks, glass bottles. They are all on this ground. These are the items that those SUPs were using to stone officers. So more officers, a backup team has come to help officers that were here. I can tell you that officers who were here, they were not enough, but tactically they managed to overcome those protesters, those SUPs. So we're just in the middle of this road where we are, and
so fully. Go here, what do? I suspect he said I want to retire. You were going to I suspect.
So folks, we're still here. Will these supers return? We still don't know yet, but the officers are still here. And you see officers now moving in again to do a search there. Officers are now moving into this compound. This belongs to the University of Liberia. This is the main campus of the University of Liberia. Officers are now moving in. So officers are now moving to every part of this compound session for those who were clashing with them. So still here. Do you want to talk to us on what happened there today?
Yes, if you ask me, I will talk.
I
remain a fan.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Kisikori.
Okay, well, no, you don't have to insult now. You have people. Yeah, stop that. Yeah. So can you tell us? So what's your own take on what just happened? You saw a clash between supers and officers of Liberia.
Those are the ones that are making noise today.
Who them? Who are they?
They want to call themselves SUP. If you just bring a web sheet, they can't be real about the day to day. The independent, one paragraph. Someone in their parent, and they managed to enter the university. So they take advantage. And you see, I'm the first time for them. I'm the biggest SUP. They run away.
Okay.
Nobody wanna call me.
Okay. So we are seeing two vehicles belonging to the Liberian National Police. Two vehicles belonging to the Liberian National Police. So these chairs were being used to block this road just right here. Just right here. You back. Do the thing. Keep going there. We are getting reports that the officers who moved in here to do a search for
whoever has been made.
We're getting a person screaming. We're getting someone shouting, but officers are not moving to know exactly who is that person who is shouting. So I think one person has been arrested. Police have made.
So let's see this person. Police have made a first arrest.
This is a guy who has been shouting and. Were you part of?
Okay, conversion first. It is our tough.
What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Student Emmanuel Esna.
Are you a supers?
No.
But what are you doing here? You see blood in your mouth.
Today is now a school day, so we'll say today is independence celebration, but you are here.
Yes,
you are not part of.
this is my locality. I'm not coming to read my book.
What caused the blood in your mouth?
Because of the police individual put on me, I see my teeth. You see my teeth, the police beat me. And
why were you guys clashing with the police?
I was not part of those people.
What were you doing here?
I told you for the previous day. I'm a student of the Baga State Education.
You said, what's your name again?
My name is Emmanuel.
So, police have made an arrest here.
So one person. You say you are not part of the protest. What's the reason of blood in your mouth?
Because comrades and friends, Monrovia people, the South African police are so confidential with my institution. There is this, can you see my mouth? Can you see my mouth? No, kill me, comrades and friends.
So there's the point of where the police are made.
So he will be placed in this pickup.
In the pickup. So they are pushing in the pickup. You are telling the police. Sorry, I can play something with the people. Where are you?
Were you part of SUP protest?
No.
The one where you see on the campus, where there was a serious clash between SUP and other officers of the Liberian National Police. What was the business here?
Okay, comrades and friends. At a particular time, I can say I'm saying it again. University of Liberia, we have been reading our books because I'm not a supers. I came here to understand the read some books.
Knowing what happened, school has closed. School has closed. Were you present when the clash was going on? So one person has been arrested. One person has been arrested and will be taken to Central. One person has been arrested. So you listen to a student there, Emmanuel. Did not actually get his last name, but he said his name is Emmanuel, and he wasn't part of those supers who were stowing officers of the Liberian National Police. According to him, he came here to read books. He came here to read books, and then he got arrested by officers. He said he wasn't part of it, but we don't know as to whether he was part of it or not. And so folks who are still on. So now it's a free flow traffic. Vehicles are not moving. Earlier on, this place was a battleground. This place was a no-go zone. And officers have managed to calm. Officers have managed to calm the tension. To calm the tension, of which there's no more tension here. Calm has been restored. The officers are just waiting there. But folks, this is DN News Liberia, live from Capitol Hill, where we are, where most peaceful protests now turn chaotic. Supers have retreated. We don't know as to whether they will regroup, but the officers are just waiting them, and we still do see officers there making that search. Officers continue to make that search to know as to whether those supers are still there. Officers continue to make that search to know as to whether those supers are still there. They want to ensure that none of them they are here. They want to ensure that all supers leave this campus. Folks who have been here since this morning, bringing you live coverage from the main campus of the University of Liberia here on Capitol Hill, where SUP paraded with men. And the protests were being led by SUP chairman Audacious Mobile, of which they started from here up Capitol Hill, go all the way up Bessie Street, make a U-turn, pass through Carey Street, the UN Drive, and then return to Capitol Hill, of which members of the Students Unification Party decided to set a roadblock. Yes, they decided to set a roadblock on this cross wall. This is where those SUPists thought of setting roadblocks, brought up chairs, brought up racks, tried to place it on the cross wall, which they did, and which led to officers coming in to say, no, you cannot obstruct traffic. You can protest, but you cannot obstruct traffic. You can't do this. You cannot set roadblocks. And those SUPists told officers that cannot come close to us. We will set our roadblocks, and they did. The officer tried to move in to take these roadblocks off the road, and students refused and decided to stone officers of the Liberian National Police, which led to a very tense clash between the members of the Students Unification Party and the officers of the Liberian National Police, making this place a battleground, making this place chaotic, and the entire road being flooded with rocks. So we're not seeing a vehicle belonging to Liberia. The emergency response unit. This vehicle belongs to the emergency response unit, that's ERU. So a vehicle belonging to the emergency response unit has just arrived with few men in it. So you share this live, folks. In fact, all us as well. This is what we signed up for. Of course, today is the official independence celebration of Liberia 179th independence, and of which SUP has long been talking about its second phase of the March for Job and Justice protest, of saying that July 26th celebration will be the day they will stage the protest. As you're aware, on the 14th day of April this year, SUP staged a March for Job and Justice protest. That was the first phase of the protest, which the police managed to have captured some of them, and also the protest was dismissed. And this is the second phase of it, and also which ended with a clash between they and officers of the Liberia National Police. So one arrest has been made, one person has been arrested, and then he denied being part of what was happening, and saying that he came to read books. And so instructions are now being given that 5-man team should go and do follow search. 5-man team should go in.
Going to pass around of Liberia.
So a 5-man team has been designated to do a follow search there at the same time, and they're now so this vehicle with 5 men on it will now be heading to the Satan end to do follow search. So fireman team has been designated to do a photo search there at the Satan end. So officers are still around. Officers are still around. And kudos to the Bureau of National Police for such a professional job being done to ensuring that calm was restored. Yeah, calm was restored because this place is a major route that leads to the Congo end, of which a few minutes ago this place was a major battleground, and also was a no-go zone for cars and people passing, even passing by. You could be hit by rock. So formation have been made. Officers with their shield and baton in their hands, just waiting instructions to be given. Then they will move in to execute instructions. It is 3:36 for Central Monrovia. 3:36, and today having to be the official independence celebration of Liberia. 179th independence. So free flow traffic. Vehicles are not moving. Earlier on, a few minutes ago, vehicles were not moving on this route due to the clash. SUP, once peaceful, turned chaotic, followed by a clash, resulted to the exchange of tear gas and rocks, of which rocks were being thrown for all angles, 360-degree angles. And we were just a bit far from the main battleground. But officers of the Bureau of National Police managed to chase those SUPists. So folks, we are taking a short break and we will resume. Thanks for watching. This is DNS Liberia. I'm Biwaris Yiban. Bye for now.